Welcome to Inland Edition, where this season we're having conversations with people who represent nonprofit organizations working to make the Inland Empire a better place. My name is Joe Richardson. I'm a local attorney, Inland Empire resident, and your host. And today we're going to chat with Karen DeCarlo, the executive director of Santa Claus Inc. You may think from the name that Santa Claus Inc. only operates during Christmas. But while this organization has been providing parents with a donation experience tailored to feel like personal Christmas shopping for their children since 1952, their youth enrichment services provide quality new clothes, shoes, books, toys, and school supplies year-round. Hundreds of volunteers work together to assist over 200,000 children annually. A proud mom of 3 children and 10 grandchildren, Karen's passion has always been helping children in poverty. Hired as the organization's executive director in 2012, Santa Claus Inc. has, under her leadership, built strong collaborative partnerships with national corporations like FedEx, Bank of America, Amazon, and Toyota, just to name a few, and resulted in millions of dollars in donations. Let's meet her and learn more about how Santa Claus Inc. is affecting our community on a daily basis. So I'm happy to welcome from Santa Claus Inc., Executive Director, Karen DeCarlo. Karen, thank you for coming to Inland Edition.
You know what? This is really a pleasure for me. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is good. And we are just getting going now. I love the name of the organization. And maybe your story is one, I want you to tell it, about being, what happens when you're the most valuable volunteer? How did you get to be?
You end up being the only, you end up being the executive director.
Were you really? I read that. Were you really a volunteer for 27 years before you were the executive director?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I spent several years, like 10 years as president of the board.
Right.
But a day came when they decided maybe we should start writing grants to raise more money.
Sure.
And if you're going to write grants, somebody has to be accountable.
Right.
So that was me, I guess.
Right. Sure looks that way.
Yeah.
So one of the dramatic ironies here is that your organization is called Santa Claus Inc., but you guys work all year long.
Well, there's a story about that.
Okay.
We were founded going on 73 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
By a Jewish lady.
Right.
And we were a Christmas organization. Small, maybe helping 1,000 kids the first year.
Right.
She elicited help from every community business, like 200 businesses, and they named it Santa Claus Inc.
Right. Wow.
It was a no-brainer.
Right.
Well, 72 years later, we were kind of, I hate to say stuck with the name.
Right.
We can't change it because we're so well known.
Yes.
So we get the question all the time, you know, why are you named Santa Claus Inc.?
Right.
Are you just a Christmas organization?
So we get to tell folks how you are a all year round organization. Tell us what Santa Claus Inc. does.
We provide essential needs for children and families.
Yeah.
We provide virtually anything and everything that a child would need.
Right.
Everything from school supplies to clothing, shoes, toys, books, hygiene supplies.
Right.
You name it, we supply it.
Wow.
We've grown about 1,200 to 1,300% over the last 12 years, from serving 18,000 kids at Christmas only in 2012 to 244,000 in 2023.
Unbelievable.
So that's a pretty big jump.
Wow. How do you come across the people that you help? Do they find you? Do you find them? How does that go?
Oh, they find us. But we work in Riverside and San Bernardino County schools.
Right.
We work in 48 school districts.
Wow.
We work with the county.
Sure.
We work with law enforcement
Right.
agencies.
Right.
We work with hospitals,
Sure.
just virtually most anybody in the Inland Empire,
Right.
and we're growing. As
And-
more people find out about us,
Right.
we're growing.
Tell me about how COVID affected you all.
We didn't close. We were able to do our Christmas distribution in the parking lot at the Orange Show.
Right.
So logistically, it was very, very tough because we couldn't allow the parents to come to shop for their children. Logistically, it was very, very, very tough because there were a million bags in the parking lot, and trying to sort them and find the right bags for the right car was very tough. But we made it, and we only had one complaint.
Right. Wow. It's pretty good.
Yeah, really.
We've established that Santa Claus Inc. does stuff all year long.
Right.
And so, but tell us about Christmas in terms of, do people get in contact with you at a certain time? How far ahead of time if they want toys for their family or, those types of things, toys for their groups? And how does that whole thing go? Because I'm
Okay.
sure that's a busy time.
San Bernardino City Unified School District set up an online application process for us. We had done, up until last year, we had done everything on paper,
Wow.
everything,
Oh, wow.
working with welfare
Sure.
and the school districts.
Yeah.
Huge, huge job.
Right.
So they set up the online application process, and so the parents just are sent to the schools. They get a QR code,
Okay.
and they apply online.
Okay,
So
wow.
that's made everything a lot easier.
Sure.
So we will serve maybe 15,000 kids whose parents will come and shop through the warehouse.
Right. Wow.
Then on the other side of the coin is the year-round Christmas distribution.
Right.
That's the mass distribution to organizations for their Christmas distributions.
Right.
So if you go to a lot of the Christmas events, Christmas parties, you're likely going to see the product came from Santa Claus Inc.
So everybody loves a winner. And sometimes I guess you found out, that we all find out, that there's more help for what you're trying to do than you thought. And so we were talking off camera about you are getting, so you get your product is donated.
Well, yes, basically.
Right.
We have two major partners, and one is in New York City. It's called Delivering Good. And I pay them $10,000 a year as an admin fee. And for that $10,000, I receive truckloads of product worth millions of dollars.
Oh my God.
And they really love us, and they just keep sending more and more. And I have to tell you a funny story.
Yeah, do it.
I asked for Hanes children's underwear, and I asked for 2 truckloads.
Right.
Well, Hanes, I found out, is local. It's somewhere in this area.
Right.
So I ended up with 8 semi-loads of underwear, over 1 million pairs of children's underwear. Our entire parking lot was full. We'd get to the work in the morning, and there would be another semi, and we couldn't get them to stop.
Right.
They tried to get them to stop in New York, and I tried, and
Right.
finally we just had to lock our gates and not let any more truck.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What do folks tell you? I'm sure from time to time you talk to, maybe it's the head of one of the companies that's providing product or whatever else. What did they tell you about why they're so enthusiastically jump on board?
Well, I think that a big part of it is the partnerships that we've built.
Right.
Even though they're big, I've gotten to know them. We've become friends.
Right.
So when things come up, they think of us.
Right.
And Delivering Good does that. We also have Good 360. That's a different scenario. Through Good 360, I work with all the big companies like Amazon and Walmart and
Sure.
you name it, Carter's, children's wear. So I can buy truckloads
Right.
at, well, For instance, I just bought the most expensive truckload I've ever bought,
Right.
and it was $6,000.
For a whole
And for
truckload.
$6,000, I received a truckload of Nikes.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 24 pallets of Nikes.
Oh my gosh.
They're yet to be distributed,
Wow.
but and that's very expensive. But
Yeah.
that was expensive to get shipped too.
Right. Sure.
But generally, I spend around $2,000 for a truckload of product, and it can be children's clothing, it can be bedding, it can be assorted stuff from Amazon.
Wow.
So we get about 4 truckloads a month, a minimum of 4 truckloads a month.
Right.
And then logistically, you have to figure out how to turn it over, get it out into the community.
Right. And so you got a place in San Bernardino. How big is it?
Not big enough.
Right. Right. And so you've got it's a warehouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have some things there. You've got some space in the back.
Right.
So part of your thing is you really do have to move stuff because it's coming in so fast and there's so much of it, you literally couldn't house it all.
Oh, we can't.
Right.
We can't. We received a truckload of Disney toys yesterday.
Right.
It's in the parking lot. Don't let
You
anybody
show
know.
up at the parking lot looking for Disney.
We have great security. We learned our lesson.
Right. How do people qualify to be able to come and shop at Santa Claus Inc.?
Well, they have to be low or extremely low income,
Right.
and they come to us through school districts
Okay.
and through social services.
Okay.
And now that's for Christmas.
Right.
It's basically the same all year, although we take different types of referrals
Sure.
through our year-round program from hospitals. We work with fosters, literally most any type of an area that you can think of
Right.
that children would be affected.
You've been a volunteer for a long time and you've been part of the organization for a long time. At the risk of asking a broad question, you can answer however you want to. How have things changed over the years and how are they the same?
Well, the obvious thing is we're not just Christmas.
Right, sure.
We have 7 robust programs within our year-round programs.
Okay.
I just think the amount of product that we have access to is, that's crazy.
Right.
We used to have very little access. I had to budget $50,000 for clothing, $50,000 for toys.
Right.
Now, we don't really budget for those items. Just a very small amount that we have to pay in admin fees.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's a big change. The Belongings program is working with foster children. We work through Loma Linda Children's Hospital. We go in by referral, special referral when a child's hospitalized who's been taken out of their home by CPS.
Yeah.
And we provide everything the child needs, everything.
Right.
Clothing, shoes, toys, activities in huge bags that they can use. They're like big backpacks
Right. Okay.
that they can have for their own.
Right.
We provide for the kids at the Renaissance program at Cal State San Bernardino
Oh, wow.
as they enter as freshmen.
Right.
And we help them. We furnish their dorm rooms. We provide everything they need. As a matter of fact, we have big baskets that each kid gets have everything that they need, from hygiene to cleaning stuff,
Right.
lamps, you name it. I think working with foster kids is really important
Right.
for us.
Sure.
We're really big on books and literacy.
Sure.
We
Excellent.
make sure all kids have new books. We love going into classrooms and we'll give out a book to say, K through 3. And it'll be Who Stole My Ice Cream or something like that.
Right.
And then they'll have an ice cream party. And that's fun. We love it when we can interact with the kids because we don't always get to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We adopt the poorest schools in both counties.
Sure.
Because of our organization, the school districts are able to do very special events.
Right.
We donated a truckload of Lego sets, some worth as much as $750. Huge Lego sets to all of the different school districts. And they, well, this is one instance. Riverside County Schools did a big Lego event at Cal State San Bernardino, and it was for special needs kids. And kids, volunteers came in and worked with the kids, and they built Legos. And we gave away a truckload of American Girl dolls just recently, and those went out to everyone, and they planned Valentine's parties and tea parties for the little girls and gave those out. So that's the kind of things that we love to do.
What is the hardest thing day to day about what your organization does?
I think the logistics, literally, of bringing in product and getting it inventoried and getting it back out. We work with about 70 other nonprofits
Oh, okay.
that we know their needs.
Yeah.
So we just got finished with four semi-loads of bedding and towels from Walmart. It was the Pioneer Woman brand.
Wow.
So, you know, it takes a lot of work
Sure.
from our volunteers to be able to plan out how that's going to happen.
Right.
Because we literally have trucks coming, going all the time to pick up stuff.
Wow.
So, yes, I think that's the toughest thing.
But what's interesting about that is that if somebody's in the warehouse, this is not a volunteer gig where you get to sit like you and I are sitting and they're at a desk and handing something to somebody. They don't have to get up. I mean, these guys are scrambling, and you've got a lot of retirees.
Yeah.
You know, folks that have been around for a while, you know, et cetera. And it's really hard work, isn't it?
Really hard work.
Right. Right.
It's amazing
Right.
what they do. We have to stop some of them, you know.
Right, sure.
Margaret is 80. She still tries to lift boxes of books.
Margaret, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
And we really do have to watch over them because they are so into it.
Right.
It's what they do. It's what keeps them young.
Right. Wow.
And they take ownership, believe me.
Right. So speaking of volunteers, let's take a look at some of the volunteers at Santa Claus Inc. This is a massive volunteer organization and operation. Check these out.
My name is Barbara Couttet, and I work in the Yes department at Santa Claus Warehouse. I have been doing it about 8 years. There's a lot of reasons, but I think the biggest reason is there's just such a need. There's just so many people and so many children that we need to help. It means a lot of things to me. It means that children that might not have a birthday or might not have a Christmas, we help them get that, and we see a lot of smiles on children's faces and parents' faces because they can't always do for their children, you know. And so, but we also in the Yes program supply that type of thing all year round. We want to come to help, and we come every week. We're here every week. It's just something that we feel is necessary, and we want to do that for the community. We give them clothing. We give them birthday gifts for their children, Christmas gifts for their children. We give them all kinds of cleaning products that they probably can't have in their homes. And we give them a feeling of being important. We have cargo containers. I can't even tell you how many we have now at this point because we have so many. We keep adding because we're so grateful that people donate to us and even businesses donate to us. And then we also have like a different departments that have to have their certain areas that they take care of. And so we have a department for clothing. We have a department for the Yes program. We have a department also for toys. We have a department for hygiene. It's very rewarding. It's something that when you leave here, you just feel like you've done something so great every week.
I'm Mary, and I'm the sewing department. I've been here for 15 years or more. It's not only sewing, it's packing and helping with the homeless. If Santa Claus weren't here, it would be a tragedy because it fills a need that's not filled elsewhere. This is a sample of some of the things that we make. We make quilts, we make clothing. The clothing department will ask us, in this case, they needed 72 T-shirts. And so we will make 72 T-shirts. We've made belongings bags that are given to children coming out of Loma Linda Hospital that have been abused. This is their belongings bags. Receiving blankets, hats, teddy bears. My favorite thing about working for Santa Claus is the people. It's a huge team of wonderful, wonderful people who all have the same purpose.
So was there, I mean, you know, you've been around that organization for a long time. Was there a particular moment that just made you go all in, like an aha moment with that mission, with the mission of this place, being a part of it and wherever it actually went? Why do you do, I mean, this is unusual. I don't come across a lot of people that have been at their organization as a volunteer for 27 years, and then they become the executive director. No, this is different. What is there a moment that just locked you into this place? I mean, why do you do it? It's incredible.
Well, I've always had a heart for volunteering since I was a little kid, and I was in Brownies.
Right, sure, sure.
My mom used to take me on Saturdays when I was a teenager and drop me off at the convalescent homes, and I would go around and just sit and talk to the residents.
Really?
And then I went through all the Rainbow Girls and all of the service organizations.
Right.
Then my daughters and I got into National Charity League, and we got very involved. Right. And that's how I started volunteering for Santa Claus, because they're one of their philanthropies and still are today.
Gotcha.
So we made layettes, and probably my aha moment. I took some layettes into the warehouse, and one of the vice presidents was there, and I guess she knew me. I don't know.
Yeah.
She said, we can't find anyone to do our fundraising event, Christmas Tree Lane, which is a huge, huge event.
Right, sure.
It's the biggest event of the year,
Right.
Next to Loma Linda Children's Hospital.
Right.
I'd never been to the event, and I said, "Oh, I'll do it." So there I was. I jumped right in, and we had a beautiful, successful fundraiser. I did that for about 4 years.
Right.
I think then I got onto the board. Other than it's just been a natural progression for me. I can't think. I didn't understand when they asked me to change from being president to being executive director, because I didn't really know. I thought, oh, that's no big deal.
Right.
I didn't realize the responsibility that came with it. Like raising money.
Right, for sure.
know.
Yeah.
But what keeps me there is the love of the love that's there, the volunteers and the people that we work with. We're a family.
Right. So, wow, this is great. How do people get more information about Santa Claus Inc.?
They can go to santaclausinc.org.
Right.
They can go on to our social media at Santa Claus Inc. _Inc. for Instagram, and Santa Claus Incorporated on Facebook.
Yeah.
We do a lot. We post a lot on social media.
That's good.
Probably our website is the best way to read our story.
Right.
I encourage anybody to come and take a tour, though.
Sure.
Because you really can't believe it unless you see it. And I think anybody here that has been there would tell you the same thing. You've got to see it.
What gets you through, last question, Ish, what gets you through tough times? And whether it's a personal tough time or maybe it's a moment of sadness when you see someone, come in that's in a particular situation and that type of thing? How do you keep it going, and how do you stay encouraged?
Pray,
Yeah.
pray,
Yeah. All right.
and sometimes we cry,
Yeah.
We see some sad, especially certain referrals where
Yeah.
children have been hurt.
Right.
Sad stories.
Yeah.
But we have wonderful spiritual advisors,
Yes. Yes.
and I can call at any time, and one of our board members, who you know very well, will
Yeah.
walk me through.
Oh, sure. Oh, great. Yeah. Great.
And that's kept me going a lot of times.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. So Karen, this has been great. This has felt like home, I gotta tell you. So thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for what you and Santa Claus Inc. do for so many people in this community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, once again, another fantastic organization changing lives in the Inland Empire. Keep joining us. The invitation is open. Let's continue showing how great this community is with these wonderful organizations, one conversation at a time. Until then, Joe Richardson on Inland Edition, signing off.